Car's all ready to go. I'm going to try and drive it over these boulders. Now it has something called a dig function, which allows you to just lock up the rear wheel, so you can just steer using the fronts. And that's really handy when you want to make a tight turn. So I'll try it now. I've just enabled it, control it from a controller. And notice the back's not spinning, but the front is. And you can do these crazy turns. Look at that, all the way around to there like that. Now I've disengaged it so I can drive again. Come on, get over there. Yeah. Look at the chassis articulation, it's insane. Yes! That's more like it. How cool is this though? Do you like it? It's an Axial SCX-10 III. I'm going to build it up and then paint it. Hopefully, afterwards, it will look like a bigger version of this. And then, once it's all built, I'm going to take it hardcore off-roading. Here it all is, laid out on the table, ready to go. All the bags are numbered to help me through the build process. Anyway, let's get on with it. First thing to do then is to get into A bag, which is this, and build up the axles and the diffs. So let's get and do it. I've built up the front axle with the pull axles there. Can you see that? Look, there we go. All built up, moves around, things turn. Yeah, it's all good. So we have the front and rear axles done. There we go, all done. All smooth turnage, very good. Ready to move on to the suspension. That's the coilovers done. Took quite a while, it's a bit fiddly, but rewarding. Now it's time to move on to what we've got next, what we've got next, what we've got next. We have the transmission. I've now built up the transmission case. It was quite complex, there's loads of gears going on in there. It's got a dig function, which means you can just lock up the back wheels. It's also got a 2-speed gearbox, which I think that is there. Can go between 2 different speeds. And I've attached the motor as well. So we have all these bits done so far. Time to move on to start putting some of the chassis and other bits together. Now that's all the lower links put together. Quite time consuming just screwing all these ends onto them. But that's for the lower part of the chassis. I'll put the drive chassis together, and now I'm going to make them to the transmission. I fitted the control arms onto the base chassis plate. Now I've got to fit the steering servo. They feel expensive actually. Nice, solid metal. Got the servo in place for the steering, and I've started to build up the chassis properly now with the chassis rails. Attaching the chassis base plate as well with the suspension linkages there. Pressing on. I've got the base of the chassis together now, look at that. And now it's going to be a case of fitting all these bits here. So the axles and the suspension. Let's crack on with it. It's starting to take shape now, really is starting to take shape. And it's fun, I'm enjoying this. I finally got the front axle attached, but it's been a bit of a battle because a screw that I needed to attach the steering arm to the servo horn, I'd used elsewhere. So I had to find out where that was, swap the screws over and then refit everything. Also, I'd fitted a couple of rubber grommets to the servo for cushioning, and it meant there wasn't enough clearance for the servo horns. I had to remove those, and I got one of these the wrong way around. So we'll swap those over, and now we're good to go, finally. It's all progressing nicely now. Look, I've got the suspension on, the axles, the chassis is taking shape. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Look. Feels really solid and weighty. Oh yeah, we're progressing now, look at this. Chassis pretty much done. Wheel arches on, got this little cover for the motor which mimics half a V8. Why would they did half? Why not a full V8? So that's an inline 4 now. Got the radio gear in, servos. That's the speed controller there. Just gotta get the wheels on it. Then do the body. Yeah, the body. Hey, look at this. We've got the wheels on. The wheels are on. They're lovely, the wheels. Pleased with that. I'm not looking forward to the next bit though, because it involves painting the body. Yeah, see, painting the body. But there's more to it than that. There's an inside part as well with the driver, and I hate the painting part of models and stuff like that. It's the least fun bit for me. I've done my first session of painting, so that's the black. Doesn't seem to have had much overspill, so I think my masking might have been good. Got to rip the masking off and hopefully paint won't leave with the tape. I've done this part as well, which is the tray for inside. So now, removing the masking and getting the yellow paint applied. I'm really hoping those bits don't come off when I remove the masking as well, because they need to stay on. I've removed the masking tape now. Quite pleased. Not too much bleed. Lines are looking good and sharp. Now it's just a case of doing the yellow paint. You can still see the window covers there. I have sprayed the car. The yellow has turned out a little bit more orange than I planned. Especially as I put it on quite thickly on the bonnet, and the thicker you spray it on, the deeper the colour goes. Who knew, eh? I should have figured that out, but yeah, so it's a little bit orangey. I've lined it with silver, which helps just make it stand out a bit more. One thing that I did wrong was that I never actually put the blanks for the headlights. As you can see there, they are now on, but I originally sprayed them. And so I had to scratch off all the paint from the back of the headlights so that they'll be clear, and then put on the little blanks to cover them up to continue spraying. And you might think, oh my God, look at that. It's just a right old mess. It's got like a cover over it. So I'm going to rip that off now to see what it looks like once it's all done with all these stickers removed. And there's the tray for the inside as well. Interesting, hey? Okay, so I've taken all the masking off, and it generally looks very good. Apart from this, look. Can you see that? This stupid phone on focus, which is a problem that it always has. You see that? I don't know whether it's the silver paint's come through underneath. I actually don't think it's that. I think it's somehow or other my masking wasn't good enough and some black came through. Ugh, look, on the bonnet of all places as well. What a nightmare. Oh, I'm going to get a sticker to cover it. Well, here we are then, the finished article. Everything is on the body. The body's on the car. I put the stickers on. And I did that using Windoline. You spray the area with Windoline, so you put the sticker on, it moves around, and then you squeeze the Windoline out. A bit like applying a screen protector to your phone. Look at it. One annoying thing about it though is that the instructions do not tell you how the heck or where to put the stickers. So you just have to look online or on the box, and it's a bit, But there we are, look. Love the colour, looks awesome.